All right, hello. We are here back after game 1 into game 2 of Ignition versus God dang it, GT. Of Ignition versus Hot Take. I'm Red Panda. I am your shoutcaster tonight, and we have JT coming in as our analyst, newest member of Slipknot apparently.
Yeah. I was planning on having the paper back underneath that and then a bunch of other stuff, but couldn't pull it off. Alrighty, guys. Glad to be here and excited to see what these two teams can put up.
So today we do have Ignition probably looking for their first win here today, and Hot Take coming off of a little bit of a weak loss last week. We're waiting for draft to start up, just waiting for that link. But I'm really actually kind of interested in this match. Very big banger in the top lane. And we do have the draft link coming up, so draft should be starting up soon. Oh, there might be an emergency sub. So basically, there may be an emergency sub that has to come in. So Complex may be coming in the bot lane for Hot Take.
Oh, that will be interesting. I wonder how their synergy will go in the bot lane with Complex coming in.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. Well, no, Complex actually might be playing. It looks like he actually might be playing mid. Fallen is here, so it looks like they will still have Fallen and Mega into the bot lane. So I haven't seen Complex play a ton of mid lane. I know he's played top, and a lot of mid-top champions are shared a lot. A lot of people have said whenever they're in the pro scene that they would, if they were to role swap when they're mid, it would be to top and a top to mid, because a lot of things are shared. So I think he should do fine here. Him and Even is even around the same kind of bracket.
I completely agree with that. Like, just being in solo lanes lets you, it's the same kind of dynamic. You're not jungle roaming, and you're not with a lane partner. It's just very similar. Mid lane has a little bit more vision that they need to put out there and a little bit more roaming. But top lane should be doing that too, especially on the higher levels.
Yeah, definitely. And I think top lane is always interesting with me with Hot Take. Anybody would know. I think it always depends on with Mega and Axiom we saw in their first game. I'd really like to see.
Yeah, we got a new spec link.
Yeah, we got a new spec link. But I would really like to see them pull off what they did game 1. Their very first game that they did, they were really on point with their rotations. Fallen was left alone in bot lane a lot. He was able to play very safe. I think he is going up against a little bit more of a weaker bot lane this week, so I feel like it gives them a lot more room to be able to do that, to get Axiom ahead. And depending on what champion they put on Axiom, I mean, they had him on the Kled the first week, and he's really well known for that, but you never know. They might be able to come at something, and Ignite the Ice and Astronaut could really, surprise us this week and make it a little bit harder for Fallen and Mega.
Surprised if they don't throw a few bans at Axiom. I just feel like top lane nowadays can just generate so much pressure that it's important that your top lane has a little bit of priority. And so I think that it would be very wise for them to throw a few bans at Axiom, and vice versa. I think that a few bans at Antifa would be a good idea as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a lot of things thrown in certain aspects of Fallen and Inferno, but also they're probably going to be able to leave up anything that's super comfortable for Complex. And Complex is actually known for his Tristana. So Tristana is a, really good mid laner right now. And we have another freaking draft link coming up.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. So the draft has started, but Complex is very known for his Tristana. He plays Tristana really well. Tristana is a really good mid laner right now, so he might be able to pull that out in the mid lane. And, he has experience in these solo lanes. Mid lane also a little bit different, though. It's a very highly mechanical role. It's a very short lane, so we'll see how he feels going into that. He's only played the side lanes. But we do see Kaisa coming out as the first ban against Fallen.
Kaisa is always a good ban. She's really strong in the meta right now, so I feel like just putting that out there is a good first ban. And then the Aatrox is obviously a target ban. And there's the Tristana. Okay, so it looks like Complex will not be able to play that Tristana. They are taking that off the table.
Yeah, it's
So
showing
that
me that
takes
Hot Take
them.
has no bans. That is really interesting.
Yes.
Oh, they're using emergency subs, so they lose their first 3 bans. That's my bad.
Yep. I'm not sure if they lose the first 3 or all of them. I'm getting mixed signals in the chat.
It's the first 3. They lose the first 3 bans. Oh, they're losing all 5 bans. I have been informed.
That is a game changer.
Yeah.
That is a big game changer. Okay, so we've got the Morgana into the Senna. I'm curious if that's going to be a fasting Senna or a support Senna. I've even seen top Senna from time to time, but I'm very interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, we also have Morgana could also be a flex pick into, the jungle or the mid or the support role, but Sivir also, I really actually like Sivir with Morgana, so it could be down in that bot lane for them. And they
Yeah, that's a lot of spell shields. That's a lot of things to get through. It's going to be a pain. Sion from the last game showed a lot of power, a lot of tankiness. We'll see what they can do to get through that. The Sivir is a good choice. The Ahri might not be able to dish up enough magic damage, or at least enough consistent magic damage to get through that Sion. But we'll see what else they pick. The Malzahar into the Ahri. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna see Complex on the Malzahar. I've never seen Complex play Malzahar, so I don't know quite what to expect from him. But obviously, Malzahar being able to have the natural spell shield's pretty good for him. We will see the Kha'Zix. It looks like maybe in the jungle, going over to Inferno. But we have every reason to believe right now that this Morgana will be in bot lane, and against someone like Senna, like 2 spell shields against Senna, it's pretty huge. Like already that CC setup from them.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do the W, but if they're doing a fasting Senna and just grabbing souls as much as they can, it's not going to be too much because I don't think the spell shields stop the soul gathering in any way.
Yeah, which also leaves the Sion up to a flex pick because Senna Sion isn't as popular as Senna Tahm Kench, but Senna Sion is another form of fasting Senna. So we could see that down in the bot lane and they go in a different direction for Axiom. So, but we do have Nautilus, so it actually will be Morgana jungle. This has been really popular so far with the Pantheon. Most likely, I feel like is top.
Unless... I have no idea what's going on anymore. They've confused me. That Pantheon should be going top, but it could be going jungle, and the Morgana could be going somewhere else, and Nautilus could be going top. I mean, shoot. These are a lot of flex picks.
Okay, we might see the Nocturne. Nocturne's going to be locked in. That's going to be a Nocturne jungle. So,
or top. I've seen Nocturne top more recently, too.
Yeah, we have seen him top. I forgot about the Morgana being still in there. So we'll see what the last pick from Hot Take is real quick. But I'm kind of liking Ignition's draft, except for the fact that they really just don't have a lot of frontline. They have a lot of really good, like, burst damage, able to dive in. But we will see Axiom on the Kled, so that means it will be Sion Senna bot lane versus a Sivir and Nautilus.
I am worried about Ignition's ability to cut through this team. They've got... I mean, if they build straight tank through the Malzahar, the Sion, and the Kled, it's going to be really difficult for the Nocturne, Ahri, and... I mean, the Sivir will get there eventually in the late game, but I'm just worried about the damage output. We'll see. I'm real interested in this game. This will be really fun.
Sivir doesn't feel as clean to me as she used to. I feel like as things have gone on, like, she hasn't felt as clean to me, but obviously when you only have your big tank being Sion, being able to go that Dustblade Senna feels really, really good, and you're able to get a lot of those procs off whenever you have the high CC. So, sorry, Sivir. Sivir hasn't felt as good, especially whenever you have the good range of Senna able to poke off people and also being able to stay behind minion waves because she's really not having to worry about as much with farm. So it's going to leave up a lot for them to try and figure out how they want to deal with that bot lane. But at the same time, I'm more interested in actually seeing the Malzahar versus the Ahri. I've never seen Complex play mid. I want to see Complex play mid in this. You know, he's played side lanes. Let's see if he is actually the Swiss Army knife of AVG. That's what I want to see.
Right. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. And if he starts playing mid lane, I mean, that means he can rotate during the future drafts in his own team if he plays it well enough. So that's something to watch out for in future games.
Yeah, definitely. It really does surprise me actually that they went the route of the Malzahar instead of just giving him something like a Tristana mid because, like I said, he's really good at Tristana. It's actually one of his best champions.
It got banned.
We see a lot of people. Oh yeah, I'm stupid. But
Yeah, no. So the Ari, or I'm sorry, the Malzahar is a normally safe pick. I'm not saying he can't play it at a high level, and I'm not saying he's not deadly on it. But whenever there are mid laners or whatnot that need a safer pick, Malzahar is always a great choice. It allows you to farm really well, and the CC that comes with his ult is like a game changer every time you use it. So he's just an excellent pick.
you're gonna have to type that out to them. But we had Mega on the wrong side.
Wrong team.
Yeah.
Man, it was going to be a real interesting one.
Yeah, I know.
They're
Mega
going to get really
abandoning
excited.
his own team.
I wish the game had already
have hot take
started.
Not having 5 bans. We only had Ignition having 3. And now I guess Mega was just like, you know what, guys?
He wanted to be on the winning team. He was like, the heck with
here.
that. They missed that. That's hysterical. I love that.
Yeah. But no, I definitely agree. Malzahar is one of the
production. That's so funny.
God damn it. But yeah, I do definitely agree Malzahar being one of the safer picks, especially into Ari. Like I said, if he is caught out of position, that charm, if he has the spell shield up, is definitely going to be good for him. But Ari can pop that spell shield very easily. She has a lot of really good range and really good mobility. But I'm really looking at, from this standpoint, how Sion is going to react in, Fallen being able to play the farming champion. I don't know if he's going to be on the Senna or if he's going to be on the Sion. I have a feeling Mega will probably play the Sion, but
yeah,
Fasting Senna is really a pain in the ass to deal with from my experience.
Well, I'm curious if it's going to be a Fasting Senna or just a regular Senna ADC. I've seen both, and I've never seen a Sion being the one that takes the farm before. That's not to say they're not going to do it, but I'm really interested to see like what the Sion's going to do with all that gold if he is the primary source of that gold in the lane. That's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I have seen Sion be the other person other than Tom Kench that can do it. He actually does it some of the better than a lot of the other bruisers that you would put down there. And it does allow Sion to get his items quicker, being able to be tanky, and also being able to have someone like Kled up in the top lane. Because when we think of Axiom, we don't think of champs like Sion, we don't think of champs like Orm. We think of these champs like Aatrox and Kled, a lot of these champions that can have a potential to take over games, take over team fights. But this does get rid of what I was saying before, where I was talking about Mega being able to roam and get Kled ahead with the jungler, because that's what won them their first game. That's what made them look really good. So
yes, it did.
I think it'll be interesting. I think that they'll still probably lean more towards that top side, because Fasting Sin is usually a little bit more of a stronger poke lane, being able to keep people back and staying safe with the range. But we'll definitely see. I think it'll be interesting to see how they react to that. And Sivir Morgana, definitely, like, it's going to be a hard time trying to, do anything.
Do we know if that's confirmed yet? Do we know if it's Sivir Morgana or if it's Sivir Nautilus?
Oh, yeah, it's probably Sivir Nautilus. But
I don't know. I want to see it confirmed.
I would love to see something pulled so out of left field for them. I'd love to see the Nautilus top. I'd love to see the Nocturne mid. Let's put Ari support. Let's get Sivir jungle. Let's get Morgana the ADC.
Sivir jungle. Yeah. Well, that Nocturne's definitely going top, so that takes that out of the jungle. So now we either have a Morgana jungle or a Nautilus jungle. There's the Morgana. Okay, so it is Nautilus, Sivir bot lane. Okay.
Yeah, I think Morgana Sivir is a little bit more of a better lane, in my opinion. But Sivir and Nautilus is still really good, but you're going to have to catch people out. It's going to be a lot harder if you decide to go the Dark Harvest Sivir, which a lot of them are squishy. That would be ideal to be able to go the Dark Harvest Sivir.
I mean, for Nautilus, the problem is you only have 2 targets you want to grab, right? You only want to grab the Sivir or the Kha'Zix. You don't want to grab the Kled, you don't want to grab the Scion, and you don't want to grab the Malzahar. I mean, it's just, I feel like that's going to be really, really irritating for him to position in the late game team fights to get on those priority targets. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, they have a good amount of CC as well, and I mean, one of my favorite things about Sivir is that, you know, she's just press R and everybody just run at them. That's one of my favorite things about the champion.
Yeah, they are going to have a lot of speed, and especially with that Nocturne. They're going to have a lot of dive potential. So the Nocturne's probably going to ult the Senna if the Senna's ahead, or ult the Kha'Zix if they see the Kha'Zix out. And then the Ahri's going to try and just run crowd control and pick somebody up. They're a very pick-oriented team in the top and the mid lane, but they're very team fighty with their bot lane. It feels slightly disjointed, whereas the other team feels very, very team fight oriented, with maybe the Kha'Zix picking people out. Because Senna, Scion, Kled, and Malzahar are just going to be, you know, sustained team fight for long periods of time, and they're going to want to take a longer team fight. Whereas the other ones, I don't know how they're going to do in long engages. I think this is going to be a vision game. I think the more vision that you have, the better vision you have for Ignition is going to make all the difference.
Yeah, I think Ignition, actually, this looks like one of the games, like they are 0-2. This looks like a game they could definitely get their first win off of. Because we saw Complex last week playing the Morgana jungle into Hot Take, and he did really well with top lane and was able to get everything started. And now you also have a Nocturne with that Morgana jungle. You hit a stun and Nocturne's Pro 6. Like, Kled's not the tankiest champion in the world. Axiom's really good at the champion. He's really good at maneuvering himself around the Scarl. But at the same time, that's a lot of burst damage that's going on top of you all at once. And to me, that is almost like your win con for this team. But at the same time, if all that happens, we'll also have a fasting Senna Scion. So it does spread out what you want to be prioritizing. Because
whose draft do you like a little bit more?
I actually do like Ignition's a little bit more. Because I was trolling a couple weeks ago about the Morgana jungle. I've seen it a couple more times, and I really do like it. And also because I feel like it's more versatile.
All right. I actually like Hot Takes a little bit better. I think that they have a more team fight centric one, and I feel like the later the game goes, the better they're going to get. Whereas I think the Ignition is going to have a little bit more trouble. I think the Sivir is going to be the shining star in late game. And if Sivir really gets ahead, that's going to make all the difference for their team. But right now, I think Hot Take, in my opinion, has a very good team fight oriented team, and because this league is so bloody, I'm expecting a lot of team fights. I'm not expecting a lot of, you know, split pushing and heavy macro. Usually things get bloody, and it's always exciting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Just because also, like what I was saying before, like the Senna Scion, like you definitely have to choose and pick your poison here with this team, because Senna Scion, the point of a fasting Senna is that you have a lane and a half pretty much farmed up. So you're going to have the souls that are pretty much like the equivalent of getting your farm from Senna. And then you also have Axiom on his most comfortable champion. But I do feel like if it's played out correctly, Ignition has a humongously huge chance of being able to shut out one of those people. I think that Sivir Nautilus is able to definitely, you know, dish out enough damage that if Morgana wants to come down, she can definitely set up a really good gank. And even if not, someone gets caught out, Sivir, if she does go Dark Harvest, can get a lot of those Dark Harvest procs for when the late game comes around. I think if she doesn't take Dark Harvest, it won't be the biggest of deals. But I do think that because of how many squishy targets there are, she can get a lot of Dark Harvest procs off, and she could become a huge terror and also being able to just press R and get everybody so close to the team, keeping Morgana even faster in her R. So,
which is always annoying. When the Morgana can
yes.
follow you, that's a pain. I agree. I definitely think that you're right. It's going to be they're going to have to get ahead because I definitely think that Ignition have the early game with these picks. The only late game that they have right now is the Sivir, and that Sivir could be a monster, could be an absolute monster. And they have a lot of CC, which always translates into the late game. But I do feel like I do feel like Hot Take has late game. So if Ignition takes the early game, they could just roll over Hot Take.
Yeah, definitely. We should be loading into this game soon. We talked about who draft you favor, but based off of everything, who do you think is going to probably win this game?
Like I said, I really like Hot Take's draft. Axiom is very comfortable in the Kled, and Nocturne top is something that I've seen more and more and more, but it definitely has more of an impact the more you roam, and it's I don't know. Malzahar is a pretty safe champion, even with multiple roams, and with Nocturne coming at him, it would have to be really well done to get off all of his roams and to get everything set up correctly. That top lane matchup is something I'm going to be really interested to look at during the game, and it might dictate how this game goes because Nocturne is something that the LCS has been playing in top and various other regions, but I mean, you have to be able to play it at a high level, and it's not something typical that top laners learn how to play. It's a jungler foremost, so I'll be really interested to see how he pulls this out.
It's also interesting to see the... Oh, wait, no. I was looking at completely different things. I thought that was an Ahri skin. I was super confused thinking they were taking Ahri bot lane. My opinion was going to completely change on their draft if that was a fact. But, no, I definitely agree. I think that Hot Take, their draft is good enough, and I feel like they can definitely play towards a win con. I think it's going to be really interesting to see them prove that whenever they did have that one win and it was really convincing, they didn't come out with the one last week, but I would like to see them also win without having to shove everything towards Axiom, which is what they did week 1. They do have the sub mid laner, which I think does put them a little bit at more of a disadvantage, but we are loading into this game, so I'm really hoping to see everything come to fruition, being able to get the bloodbath that you were talking about here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm super excited to see these team fights. I feel like it's just going to be super mobile, and like one team has a lot of sustain and has a lot of power to get through and a lot of just beefiness, and the other team just has a lot of mobility and a lot of outplay potential. I think this is going to be a really good game.
So as I look at their items, there's actually 2 things I want to point out. We are actually going to see a Fasting Senna, and we do see a Cole coming out on the Sivir from Ignite the Ice.
Yeah, look at that. Fasting Senna. That's gonna be a pain to deal with.
Yeah, so what do you think about the Cole?
Sivir's, I know the Sivir's already going for late game. That's that's putting that's very ballsy to start off with a Cole. It's showing that you are going for late. You're going to get that extra gold, and you're working for it. So there's probably going to be a lot less aggression from that Sivir with that Cole until she actually is able to cash that in.
Yeah, we also do see Sivir going with the press the attack. I don't really necessarily agree. I think that there's 2 kind of things you want to go with Sivir. You either want to go the Dark Harvest or you want to go the not press the attack, the lethal tempo.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it works out. Like, I'm not a huge fan of press the attack on Sivir, but
we'll definitely have to see. Yeah. Complex already looking very not aggressive, but very comfortable on the Malzahar. He's willing to take trades.
Yeah, because we do see also them trying to get a little bit of harass off on this Sion. Sion does have to step up quite a bit to farm. Luckily, he is a little bit of a tankier champion, so he is going to be able to take a little bit of this damage that's coming through on him. Oh no, Nautilus actually hits the hook onto the Senna. So we also see a lot of this trade coming through, but Ignite the Ice needs to calm
good
down.
trade.
The Ignite being popped, the Flash coming in from Mega, and it looks like Senna's just going to come in here and try and chunk them down. They did make a big mistake by this, but Fallen needs to be a little bit more careful. He is taking some return damage, as Complex is being able to get a little bit of damage off onto the Ahri, keeping her back a little bit, but she is making sure she's keeping that spell shield constantly proc. Axiom actually going for a big play onto Antifa here, but Antifa is going to back off. So
it seems like we've got a lot of aggressive trading already, and I told you this game's going to be a bloody one, and they're looking like they want it. I'm very excited. This is going to be a very bloody game, and everybody is willing to fight for this win.
yeah, Ignite the Ice also losing a lot of mana already. Oh, nope, the Charm hits on Complex and chunks him down. It looks like Antifa's actually going to go in on Axiom. The Fear actually does go through.
Ooh,
He's going to
gets him off from out.
He could get him. He's going to put the Ignite on him, and he's flashed forward.
Oh,
he does
there
get the
it
first
is.
kill. But here comes
blood.
Kha'Zix to clean it all up for him, and that is a blood back and forth going to Axiom and Antifa. But
very nicely done. He gets the first blood money, but the return kill does give the assist, so it gets a little bit back and it evens things up again.
Yeah, you spell shield at the wrong time, my friend. We now see a stun coming through, and looks like Mega's going to come up, but he is going to have to get stunned. This is the thing, though, is that if you don't shield at the right time, you're just going to lose a lot of the advantage you have here, but it looks like they are going to continue to go in. The Charm is hit, and the stun is hit. That is a kill going over the mid lane to put this advantage back into Ignition, but
very good gank, good charm hit, good binding, and see that's the Morgana just works really well with the extra CC. You know, just like you said, they got a good layer.
And then Morgana's coming down too. She's zoning off the Senna, so Mega's just going to be left here all by his lonesome. He's trying to get some return damage, but he is pretty much guaranteeing his death right now, as it looks like he's going to try
but is he going to be able to get a trade?
He does, but nope. Can Sion actually come back from the dead and get this? Yes, he does on Astronaut. He's going in a little bit more. He's going to try and find Morgana, but Sivir's trying to get him down before he can. Sivir does get him down before he can.
Oh, Morgana, God. You evil fiend! You killed your support.
Well, honestly, Morgana played that out super well, though. She zoned off Fallen so well, she couldn't even.
Correct, but then she flashed with the Senna W on her, snaring the Nautilus, and that's what killed him. Because Sion was just able to walk up and smack him. Fabulous.
And we do see a lot of people coming down. Drag's coming up, so they are trying to focus on this bot lane. But in turn, we actually see a fight going on again
willing to take these trades. Oh, look at those trades.
This is nutty. He's just constant aggression coming in between Antifa and Axiom. Axiom's just trying to play back a little bit here. You do not want to give this Nocturne the more advantages than he has. He's already almost towards level 6 here, and Axiom's not even level 5 yet.
Well, and look, he just keeps getting these trades that chunk him to half. As soon as he gets off of his mount, Kled is, dead man walking. Like you cannot get off of your mount. It's very bad. You have very little mobility, and you will get run down, especially by a Nocturne.
Yeah, especially once that 6 hits, he's gonna need to learn how to respect this Nocturne a little bit more, because if he keeps taking the damage like he's taking right now, it's gonna be bad. He does keep missing that bear trap on a leash.
Very interestingly, the gold is still dead even.
Yeah, even though the 2 kills, but it looks like Nocturne is going to use his ult. Morgana actually hitting the stun, and Morgana getting the kill on top of Kled. Axiom gets caught out again, but oh nope, Sivir's actually going to be able to dodge that, and it looks like they're just going to get turn damage. But Kha'Zix is going to come in on even as Steven. She gets the charm off on him, but they are going to have to back up here. She uses her ult to get a little bit closer. She uses her ult one more time, but cannot connect with the Q to get a little bit more.
And there's that mobility. If you don't kill her immediately, she is gone.
Yep.
Ahri is so slippery.
Yeah, Ignite the Ice is going to have to back up a little bit here, though. The Ignite coming through on Astronaut right there. Sorry,
they really got to hold for their mentality right now. A hot take will just really need to, figure out what they're doing and, play to their win con. I think the later this game goes, the better it goes for them. So as long as they don't, let this slip too far, I think they'll be in a good position. But right now they are, Ignition is playing to their win con, and they're playing very well.
Yeah, they're able to get a lot of really good ganks off with this Morgana. And like I said, I wasn't a big fan of Morgana last time I saw it in AVG, but you know, after playing some solo queue, seeing it around, seeing it a couple more times in the league, Morgana jungles just look so freaking dominant, and she's gotten a lot of really good ganks off, especially in this game. The queues have been really on point, and they've kept Axiom pretty at bay. He's already got 2 deaths right now, and he is behind in farm as well on this Nocturne.
I
So we're
think
gonna have to start looking towards somewhere else on this map, but.
Yeah, I think the key to stopping the Morgana is putting out those good wards, because if she's not able to hit that binding, that gank has already failed. So, like, the binding is key. So putting out deep wards and making sure you ward consistently is the way to, keep your team safe.
Yeah, definitely. We do see the dragon that's coming up is the Cloud Dragon. So we know we won't get Cloud Soul right here. And we do actually know, it's interesting that Sion actually has the gold lead on Ignite the Ice, and it looks like he's going to try and come in here on a little bit of a play. And it looks like the slow does come through from Fallen, but
they're at a level disadvantage.
He could not get the soul.
Interesting. They were going in on a level 6 Sivir where both of them were 5. I would not have gone in on that. That is very risky, but Senna hits 6 right there, and so does Sion, so they were really close.
Yeah, Inferno's kind of like stalking him in a bush right now. They do see the Ahri. Ahri is entering enemy territory. She does hit the charm though. She's gonna R. Looks like Inferno could be in a little bit of trouble, but the Centaur coming through. Sion misses his charge, and he also misses the slow right there. And they're gonna try and clear this vision, but they're probably not gonna be able to get anything more out of it. They look like they will try and start up this drag, but
yes,
I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it looks like also Axiom trying to run down, and he's going to be met by Antifa. He's going to be knocked off a Scarl, and he gets the Ignite thrown on both on the Ignite, and Antifa takes down Axiom, but it looks like Sion's in a bad position. Can he do something from beyond death, though, as Complex is going to be taken down as well, and it looks like Morgana Jungle is just shredding through this team. Mega not able to find anything in the death form. No one is high enough HP to do anything about this. Looks like Nocturne does prot the R. He does not see anybody, though, so he cannot latch onto him. I think he's trying to look for Inferno, but he cannot find him. He finds Fallen, but he's going to go and flash in on Inferno. Inferno down. Can he take down Fallen? Fallen's trying to stay under the tower. Going through Morgana's shield on him, and it looks like Fallen's might go down. No, he finds a little bit of a break here and does stay alive. Morgana's still roaming around here, does get the shield, a little bit of a cocky play, but he does get the binding at the last second, and there goes Even as Steven with one more. TP coming down from Complex. Complex trying to find a way to get on it to Even Steven. Looks like even the Kled ult's coming through, and that is Even and Steven going down. Mega's trying to even this out. He is going to chase pretty far. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Nocturne Spears coming through, and Morgana also saves Antifa.
Beautifully played by Ignition. Oh, absolutely wonderfully played. The Nocturne went down, hid in the bush, waited for the Kled to follow, knew that he was going to be going over to the Dragon to try and help his team. The Kled does not have TP, so he just waits in the bush, takes him out of the fight, and then heads there to help out the team. And of course, the team played fabulously around their 4v4 anyway. So 9-3, 2,000 gold lead and growing. Ignition is playing fabulously.
They've definitely gotten a lot of good roams off, and they've been able to communicate very well across this map. Even though Sion has had a farm lead this whole time, it hasn't really mattered. Axiom's been trying to get roams off. He's been trying to do whatever he can to get back into this game for them, but, you know, like, Kled is also a little bit more. He can scale up. He can do a little bit more in the late game. So we are looking. No one has finished the first item yet except for Nocturne, who has the Stride Breaker already. But it does look like the ult. Oh, the ult does get rocked out. He is going to go in. Oh, no, the ult coming through. He's trying to dodge everything from even as Steven being able to just juke out all the attacks. They're going to knock up the... Nope, looks like we're actually going to go back up here. Inferno being taken down by Antifa. Everything that could be going wrong for Hot Take is going wrong right now. Looks like even Ignite the Ice lives.
I am so surprised that this is only a 2,000-3,000 gold gap at this point. They are playing so well. Ignition is just getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on, and they're playing so well, catching people out and just positioning. Their macro is very well done right now, and so is their micro.
Yeah, it has to be really, really sad for Fallen right there. He hit that ult perfectly, but the spell shield just completely nullifies it. As it looks like the Rift Herald will be dropped mid. This should be the first tower taken down, and plates haven't even fallen yet, so that's a lot of gold going over this Morgana and this Ahri right now. And it looks like they are going to have Kha'Zix roaming up right now. He's going to jump on top of even a Steven, but the charm hits right on time. But looks like Inferno is going to be able to get it. That is a kill going back over, though, to the Morgana. Looks like Skarl. He takes off a Skarl. I don't think he's probably going to go any little bit more on this. He doesn't have anything, but he does proc the R. He goes back in. Come on, Axiom, get out. He cannot get out, but it looks like he may be able to get the return kill back. And that is a shutdown handed over to Kled.
And that's so worth. When you're that far behind, getting a good shutdown really helps you get back in the game. That is.
Yeah, I think that was a little too ballsy by Nocturne right there. That was a little interesting.
He had a lot of good health. That flash from Axiom, I think, was what really changed the fight in his favor. He was able to flash just far enough and was able to make sure that he stayed under the tower for another tower shot, which finished him off.
Yeah, definitely. I think they should be trying to find ways to shut down this Nocturne a little bit more, because Complex has been holding his own a little bit over here. He hasn't gotten a kill, but also a lot of the kills haven't really come off on him without ganks. And he's been a little bit of a pillar. You have bot lane being able to hold up pretty well in farm on them, but you need to give the top lane a little bit more attention. Axiom's been having a really hard time against this Nocturne, especially after that first gank was able to come off and he was able to get the kill on him.
And something I do want to point out is Sion is out farming the Sivir by 30 farm.
Yeah.
I am very impressed. I did not expect Sion, who has to go close, to be able to do so well in the farming aspect. He is doing very well. And that's, cutting down the gold lead that they have by quite a bit. 30 CS is nothing to be scoffing at.
Yeah, I also think that just comes into play where you have someone like Sivir. I think Sivir usually does a little bit better against targets that aren't as tanky, but it looks like also they're going to go back again. He's going to knock him off a Skarl once again. Bear trap on a rope, not being able to pull him in.
Oh, Nana's up top too. That looks like a dead
for help right now as the R comes through. He's going to probably get down here, but who's going to get the kill? It looks like it's going to be Antifa getting the kill as they're going to try and get something going here in the bot lane, but everything misses for them. Complex is trying as hard as he can to make sure this lane stays off of it, but it looks like Inferno's going to go in. He does miss the W on top of a minion, and it looks like Nocturne is just going to put him down, and the Morgana Soil is going to bring him down for good.
And that takes way more damage than you think. As soon as she gets that Leandri's, Morgana Soil does so much more damage.
Yeah, you always underestimate how much Tormented Soil is going to do to you until you actually have it laying on top of you. You walk away from it and you see you're still getting that burn from Leandri's.
Well, and most people expect it from the support Morgana. They're sitting there, they're like, support Morgana, this is how much damage she does. It takes a while before she does anything, and that's not the case when it comes to the jungle Morgana. She does way more than you think.
Oh, Mega's actually going to try and get out here. The shield is going to land on him, but it looks like there is going to be the Morgana ult. And Sion's going to turn into death form. Can he catch out Astronaut? He does get Astronaut. The flash forward to slow ignite the eyes. And it looks like maybe one. Oh, Kha'Zix comes in to shut down the Morgana. He's going to go in on Sivir. Sivir's being brought down low. Can Inferno finish him off? Inferno finishes him off. So that is a double kill coming over to this Kha'Zix right now. And that's really good right now for him, as you have 4 squishy champions on the enemy team. This Kha'Zix could change the game for you completely if you let him get fed enough, and that's a double kill coming in, including a shutdown.
Yes, that's fantastic that he got those kills. They are still down 4K, almost 5K gold at 15 minutes. So they really need to stop the bleeding, and they need to start taking as much gold as they can if they even want to make it to late game. Oh, that was a really good ult, but it wasn't enough.
Kha'Zix is going to go down trying to jump away from death. But they do actually hit the blast cone to get a little bit farther away from Mega. Mega's not going to get probably close here. He does miss the slow onto Ahri. Ahri is just going to escape. The best they can do is clear a little bit of this vision. Mountain Drake's still up, but Axiom is getting damage onto this tower. This should be top tower going away from them. As he
and that'll be a lot of gold for their team. That'll be really needed. As many towers as you can get will help you get to late game. So if they can pick off these towers and try to out macro,
but Nocturne's going up
really
there.
Helpful. Yeah,
Axiom's going to have to be a little bit more smart about this. He's got to back off. Yes, he is going to back off, and it looks like the wave clear's actually also pulling out for him. Sivir's immense wave clear is keeping them away from this tower too. And even though he's ahead in farm, Sivir has the wave clear to probably push him off of this, and They're coming down here, and it looks like Morgana's also going to be here. She does miss the Dark Binding, and Smear's going to help them get away.
It's like 3 people top. They are going for this Nocturne, but they don't know where he's at.
Axiom looks like
that's
he might just try him back here. Nope.
That's the lack of vision.
So tilting.
Oh,
Lack of
no.
vision right there gets them lost the mid tower. He's gonna take these chickens from him. They don't know
There
Ari's
it is.
here for when they
They
go in on
found
this.
him.
So Bear Trap and a Rump is gonna connect to him. Looks like they might be able to take him
They
down
got
first,
him.
but can they get the Ari as well? Axiom presses the ult button on him. That's a hyper speed, but he is able to hop over the wall. Little bit of damage coming in through from there, but nope, it's gonna have even more damage come through as he knocks him off of Scarl. So now Axiom's gonna have to think about a little bit more of retreating here, as Ari is. Oh no, she misses the charm, and Axiom's gonna go in. The flash. One more hit could do it. No, actually, the shield comes through, and there it is.
And he got Scarl.
As Morgana's coming back in too. And Morgana uses her Zonias, but she is going to be able to get 1 kill before she goes down. But will she even go down? Complex is actually taking a little bit from the Leandries, but it looks like also Complex is going to get the shutdown onto the Morgana. Sub coming through for them in the clutch right there.
That was really well played. Both sides tried, they did what they did best, but the Nocturne was a little deep, and he got picked off really quickly, and he's the strongest one on the team, other than possibly the Morgana. The Ari missing that charm was huge, and as soon as Kled was able to get right back on his mount, that changed everything. That was beautifully played.
Yeah, especially with this being his signature pick, he does know this champion very, very well. One of the, I honestly can't even say one of. He is the best Kled in the league right now, so he could pull this back for him, as it looks like they are going to get a little bit more damage here. So they are leaving Fallen a little bit by himself once again. He does have plenty of souls to count off of, though, here. So he could be getting a lot of range, could be getting really strong right now. And Tower's only going down on the top side for the side of Hot Take, though.
Yeah, Kled's going to have to be really careful until he gets a little bit of MR. He built against the Nocturne, and he went very safe. He's got, the plated caps, and he's got some lifesteal to try and survive that laning phase. And that plated caps are not going to be helpful with the Jungle Morgana and the Ari when it comes to late game. So he needs to either pick up some MR or go full bruiser / damage and try to make an impact that way, because they will cut through him.
Yeah, definitely. As they are trying to get vision around this dragon pick. This dragon pit. I don't think Dragon's going to be spawning up soon, but the Baron is coming up. They're clearing vision up on the top side. You do have 4 people, actually, from Ignite the Ignition up there, so could be interesting. They're all hovering around mid right now, trying to look for even a Steven. He has to know that all these people are here. One knock-up by the Scion can ruin his whole day if his team does not rotate properly, but it does look like they might just back out of this push as she's going to go in. She does land the charm on Complex, but here comes Inferno. Complex actually landing the R. The knockup coming up onto Ari, but a knockup also coming from Nautilus. Nautilus and the Scion are going to go to a little bit of a duel here, but now we have the Sivir coming through. She does miss her Q. She's not going to get the extra speed to try and catch up to him, so Nautilus is going to try and slow him down a little bit, as it looks like Kled's coming in here. But oh my god, such a great hook from Nautilus comes through, but he's still going to be able to get in there. Kled is knocked off a Scarl. That it is all of a sudden Scion going down. He's trying as hard as he can to get Kled back, but he cannot get Scarl back into this, as Mega is going to officially go down off this Scion. And it looks like
that was a very poor idea by
That
was a very poor idea by Hot Take. It was 2v4. Your Kha'Zix was already chunked out, and he was backing. Senna wasn't anywhere near the fight, and she had already used ult. And they decided, Axiom decided along with Mega Blast to just go in and try to make something of that fight. And it was too little, too late.
Yeah, as we do see Kha'Zix is going to try and come in here on Antifa. But Antifa pretty big right now, as they're also going for this dragon, so he's really kind of suffering right now on his objective where he's going with this right now, because one auto attack will take that tower, but they're still not even halfway. Well, they're about a quarter way done with Baron here. So
there it is.
Looks like Baron will be going over to the side of Ignition.
And Drag's coming up,
looking
so
good for Hot Take.
They're going to do a quick back, and they're probably going to rush directly to that dragon. try to get their third of the game and really put the pressure on, because if they get Soul, it's just going to be that much harder for them to try to come back in this game, especially because it's going to be Ocean Soul, allowing them to heal up during these fights. They're already very strong. They've already got more damage than you're going to expect, and the fact that they're going to live through all of your sustain with that Dragon Soul, this is going to be really bad if they give this up.
Yeah, and it looks like they're not even going to fight it.
Well,
They're
it isn't the
all
fourth. It
hovering
is
towards the
only the
top side.
third, but it just makes it so much more difficult when the fourth does come up, because you have to fight it no matter what when it comes to that.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to even it out here, trying to get this mid lane tower. Axiom did go top lane to push in that wave, but it looks like they are going to take a Baron siege down here into the bot lane. We see all 5 of Ignition down here. And it
Yeah, and
looks like
they didn't
may
back
be
soon enough.
coming
I
in on
think,
this.
ooh, they might lose this one too.
Yep, Axiom's the lone man down here, but we do see the Scion coming through.
There it
Nautilus
is.
actually tanks that for him as we see Kled trying to get in there on him. And now we got Nocturne in the backline trying to take down, and he does get there. And all of a sudden, Axiom's going down too. But it looks like also in the backline, we do see Nocturne go down. Axiom one more time. He's trying to get Ignite the Ice. He gets Ignite the Ice, but he has no chance of getting Scarl. And that is a triple kill coming over for this Morgana jungle. We do see Scion back up, but that is already the inhibitor down. And can Scion deal with this? And all of a sudden the knockups do come through, but I don't think we're going to see a little bit more damage out of him right now. He is building for tank, and he does get another knockup up there, just kind of absorbing this tower damage. That's
He
Ignite
put the
coming
Ignite
out.
on the
It is a
Morgana.
stun landing on him, but he's just constantly getting these knockups, but he's just getting chunked down by this Ahri. As here
There
comes
it is.
Senna to try and get anything
gonna
done
slow him
here.
down.
She does get the soul off, and this could be Deathscion coming through. One
Nope.
auto attack from Deathscion. Can he do it? Nope. Even is Steven popping off still. Able to take down the Scion before she can reach her.
Beautiful. Well played. A wonderful bloodbath. I knew it would be 43 or 44. 44 kills in 24 minutes. What a bloodbath. I love it.
Yes, we need to see Hot Take be able to get more here, but it looks like Axiom's going to try and go in a little bit more. Pulls him a little bit more towards him, but the hook is actually going to lead him out. As we do see Sivir here, and they're going to back off right now.
They're going to need to do a lot to get back in this
from
game.
across the map on the complex. He's going to take him down. Scion and this Kled here. He flashes over the wall. Do you want to be fighting this Morgana right now? They say yes, and it looks like Morgana's going to use her Zonius. Axiom trying to get in there, but Axiom's going to go down, as it looks like also at the same time Mega's going to follow suit. Mega's going to try and run out and get anything going here. He's going to try and take down the Sivir, but it doesn't look like he's probably going to get there before they can all take him down. 4 of them being there, there's no way Zombie Scion is going to live through that enough to get damage.
And it just looks like they've kind of lost in every lane at this point. And it wasn't really the macro. I think it was the micro that really made a massive difference in this game. Each one of these players outplayed their opponents and did a really good job in this game. Each lane played fantastically on the side of Ignition. They wanted this win, and they earned.
Could be very close to pulling out their first win here. All it is complex. Sion's going to try and come in here at the last second as they are diving, but nope, they were able to attack the Nexus right before everybody was able to get in there again. That is Ignition's first win of the season. Hot Take is 1-2 now.
I am so surprised that's the first win they have after that performance. They played fantastically. They did everything they needed to do. Every lane won and played out of their minds. I am super surprised that's their first win. I think we're going to see a lot more wins out of this team.
All right, as we have Firelit, the captain of Ignition, with us, man. How's it feeling getting the first win of the season for you guys?
No, it actually feels really good.
Man, I got to say, you guys earned that one. I was so impressed. You guys won pretty much every lane, and you guys played fantastically.
Thank you, thank you. We really tried. We didn't like going 0-2 as we started out. Obviously, nobody wants to go 0-2. So we made a few tweaks and a few little small changes within our tactics, and it seems to have worked out.
You
Shoot, I
guys
don't know.
definitely were able to pull out a lot of good things here. You guys had a interesting comp without having the tanks, but how did you guys feel coming into this? Is this about how the draft you guys wanted to play out? Obviously, Hot Take didn't have any of their bans, but did you guys have to adjust a little bit going in through this?
Um, Actually, the adjustment we were able to make was a stronger adjustment because of the no ban. So like I got to give a shout out uh to our opponent and everyone on their team for doing what they could in the face of having literally zero bans able to work with and a sub at the same time. And Complex, great job for subbing in there and nice job on your play.
Yeah, that was definitely good for Complex to sub in there, being there when he's needed. That's awesome. How did you guys feel when you saw the Scion and Malzahar? It was something I was definitely worried about with your draft. Obviously, I shouldn't have been worried, but when I saw the Morgana and the Ari, I was kind of worried that it was going to be hard to get through that front line. But you guys seem to have no problem with it at all. Were you worried at all?
No, not really, actually. This one we felt really confident going into it. Especially once I got my hands on Sivir, seeing Scion, seeing Senna, seeing Malzahar. I have escaped from all of that, um, and the rest of my team can utilize my escape you know, to clean up the resulting mess that's going to happen.
High mobility, indeed.
All right. Well, with this coming out, your guys' first win. Really proud of you guys for being able to come out here, make this a you guys made this basically almost a one-sided game. I'd hate to say it, but what do you expect going on for the next couple weeks?
I'm really looking forward to playing Complex and his team next week. I hear that's what we got going on in the schedule, and our intent is to keep up with our strong play here and try and go through the rest of the season without taking a loss. We'll see if we can do it.
I'm very impressed, and I think you might just do it. The way you played every lane and, the synergy with the jungler and the top and the mid, I think you guys played out of your minds. And if you can keep this up, you guys might just go undefeated for the rest of it. Can't wait to see it.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, sir. Great game.
All right, guys, that will be closing out for our stream. We had two bangers of a game. GG's to both Hot Take and Ignition. Was a bloodbath from the beginning. Like my friend JT was saying, he was hoping for. I hope you guys had a fantastic time watching. We will see you next week for the following games of the week. Stay tuned for that. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Later, guys.